Assalamualaikum. Dr. Kaharudin, SIPM Hume, and all wherever and wherever you're watching this video. My name is Nurul Fatima Zahra. I'm from English Education Department, Class A of 2023. Tarbiyah in Teaching Science, Faculty of Alauddin State, Islamic University of Makassar. So in this video, I will explain my answer for assignment 4 with the title language production in the view of psycholinguistic theory. So let's talk about the formulation stage. The formulation stage is the process of preparing language for production by selecting the appropriate words and sentence structure to express ideas. Garrett, 1975, explained that at this stage, the speaker uses their mind to choose words that represent the intention set during conceptualization stage. So in short, it transforms the abstract thoughts into a linguistic form before being spoken. And let's talk about the syntactical knowledge. Syntactical knowledge is our internal understanding of how words are structured into meaningful sentences. The text, this knowledge divided into 3 components. First is knowledge of lemmas. Knowledge of lemmas means selecting words that match meaning. Then there's knowledge of lexeme. This knowledge forming words for expression. And the last is knowledge of grammatical encoding. This knowledge using grammar rules to combine words into sentences. And let's talk about the relationship between formulation and syntactical. So the formulation stage and syntactical knowledge are closely connected because syntactical knowledge is what operates during the formulation stage. It guides how lemmas and lexeme are selected and arranged into coherent sentences. As stated by Ellis 2028 and Kaharudin 2021, speakers use their implicit grammatical knowledge during formulation to organize words naturally and correctly according to language rules, concept into structured sentences. Then topic about differences among lemmas, lexeme, word, vocabulary, and entry. So a lemmas refers to a word that semantically represents the concept in our mind. Griffin and Vieira 2006 and Warren 2013. Then a lexeme is the word form that we use to express the concept in speech or writing. This according to Warren 2013 and Nemo 23. Then a word is the basic linguistic unit that can appear in different forms, while vocabulary is the full set of a person knows or uses. An entry refers to an individual listening of a word in dictionary or mental lexicon. In simple terms, lemmas is meaning-based, lexeme is form-based, and while word, vocabulary, and entry related to storage and use in communication. Then let's talk about grammatical encoding. So grammatical encoding is the process of combining lexemes into grammatically correct sentences to express ideas. Kaharudin 2021 defines it as creating coherent sentences using grammatical knowledge. Garrett 1980 divides it into functional processing and positional processing. Functional processing assigns rules to lexeme. For example, in the man, for example, is the man washes the car. Mean is the subject, wash the verb, and car are the object. Then positional processing. It involves applying proper grammatical forms like tense or verb agreement, such as changing it into the car is washed by the man to create a passive sentences. Then articulation stage. The articulation stage is the final step of language production, referring to the act of pronouncing concept into clear and understandable speech. This states by no. Then Chomsky, 2014, describes this as the transformation of deep structure, the abstract ideas in the mind, into surface structure, spoken or written output others can perceive. The topic about phonological knowledge. What is phonological knowledge? So phonological knowledge is the ability to construct and pronounce sentences using appropriate speech sounds based on phonological rules. According to Fernandez and Cairns 2011 and Hayes 29, this knowledge helps speakers identify suitable sounds units and combine them effectively so that speech is clear and understandable. Then articulation stage. The articulation stage depends on phonological knowledge to produce accurate sounds. Hayes 29 explains that phonological knowledge provides rules that guide how abstract sound representation stored in the mind are transformed into spoken words. Without it, articulation would lack the structure necessary to produce meaningful speech. Therefore, phonological knowledge acts as the mental system that controls the physical art of articulation. And what is the relationship between articulation and phonological? So the articulation stage depends on phonological knowledge to produce accurate sounds. Hayes 29 explains that phonological knowledge provides rules that guide how abstract sound representations stored in the mind are transformed into spoken words. And without it, articulation would lack the structure necessary to produce meaningful speech. Therefore, phonological knowledge acts as the mental system that controls the physical act of articulation. And there are phonological rules. So phonological rules are mental patterns that determine how sounds are formed and combined in a language. Hayes 29 and Orbit 2016 outlined four main characteristics. First, they are intuitive, meaning speakers are instinctively know which sounds are acceptable. Second, they are untaught and unconscious, and unconscious acquired naturally through communication rather than formal learning. Third is they are language specific, as each language has its own unique sounds rules. Lastly, they show language productivity, meaning rules can be applied even to new or invented words as demonstrated in Phonological encoding. So Warren defines phonological encoding as the process of assigning sound to an abstract word form. It begins with accessing the stored phonemes of a lemma and ends with articulating them into real speech. This process allows a speaker to transform mental concept into spoken expression, serving as the bridge between internal ideas and audible language. And the last topic is about process in language production. So level 1989 explained language production as a process where thoughts are transformed into several speech through several stages. There are conceptualization, forming ideas, formulation, selecting words and grammar, and articulation or speaking and self-monitoring. Then there are self-monitoring or checking for errors. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys can understand about my explanation. And I am so sorry if there's any grammatical errors. And thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.